This is the Stock Day Podcast, sponsored by Ion Digital, providing secure, compliant ecosystems you can trust. That's Ion Digital. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. Here's your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, I'm bringing back a returning guest. Last time he was on my show was January of this year. The name of the company is Nerds On Site, Inc., and you can find them on the CSE under the ticker symbol NERD. You can also find them on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol NOSUF. With us today is the CEO. He's going to bring us up to speed, Mr. Charlie Regan. Charlie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Everett. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, the last time you were on the show, we talked about national partnerships. We talked about cybersecurity offering, the SME edge. I want to switch the gears, if you will. Tell us a little bit about this quarter's performance. How's it looking? What are your thoughts? And where do we go from here?
Well, our quarter actually winds up the end of this month, and we've had a pretty good one. I'm not complaining. In fact, on the American side, we're up about 25 points. So yeah, we're doing just dandy. We're focused, obviously, on every dollar that goes out as well as every dollar that comes in. But we're looking to have a better looking quarter than last quarter as well. So I'm pleased, definitely.
On the cybersecurity progress coming along, you hear so many things, at least since the last time you and I spoke. Fortune 500s, Fortune 1000 companies getting broken into, data being stolen, credit cards being stolen. I mean, if you really think about it, it could almost drive a man crazy.
And it does. There's a lot of sleepless nights in the C-suite globally. I just got back from our third-party operation, related party operation, South Africa, Nerds On Site, and we're really kicking up. All of our MSSP offerings are done centrally through our public company, Nerds On Site, Inc. So they have actually kicked up into the next year all of the contract business on the MSSP front. So we're very pleased with how they're doing over there. And of course, that's our focus right now is managed security service process. So we're definitely, in fact, we've got over in South Africa, I think there are 5 BMW dealerships that are in development right now when it comes to moving them over. We are aware of all kinds of players out there that may not make the news when it comes to breach,
right?
When it comes to loss. But they're major players. An old story is Sony. 7 years without being aware. They were having data drips in the form of full movies as well. So there are major players out there who have undergone massive disruption on this front. And we're I'm touching wood as I say this, very pleased with how our SME Edge is performing and the Atom, the secret sauce, the Atom Networks, don't talk to strangers element within. In fact, we've just added a new municipality out west in Canada. They've moved onto the system and we're in the process of putting together a proposal for another municipality.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Last time you were on the show, we talked about national partnerships and relationships. You guys are really prevalent in Canada and everything. Any thoughts of going, and we talked about it before, but is there any new front news about moving forward in the United States?
Well, we've got just just this past month, we've had a major installation with the SME Edge and a full contract package with a Phoenix operation, a manufacturing operation, and we're in the process of piecing together the program for a life sciences operation out of Phoenix as well. Again, the same fixation and focus, full tech support along with cyber protection.
Yeah, that's a nice area. I mean,
definitely, yeah.
I lived in Phoenix for a long time, and I tell you, it's the 5th largest city in America, and it's very business savvy and everything. And you guys will probably do really well there. I want to change the gears here just for a second. Jamie Dimon was telling some of his employees, "Hey, if you don't show up to work, you won't have a job." And I know somebody's let the Pandora out of the box, and now we got, Gen X and Gen Z and everything. But let's talk about team culture here for a second. Coming out of COVID, you have any thoughts about that?
Well, the business model I created about 40 years ago has always been focused on self-authorship. So your schedule is your own. If you choose to, you can work. If you choose not to, that's your decision. But the whole idea is, if you're on the job, be on the job.
Right.
So I've got to say, COVID was disruptive, obviously, on many, many fronts. None more disruptive than on that physical front, the closeness, the breaking bread, sitting down, having a cup of coffee and kibitzing. Well, we just had 2 reboots. We call them reboots, and where we get team members from a particular region in, and they we spent a couple of days going over what's new,
right?
What's coming up. And I just got back from Johannesburg, or Pretoria, actually, where we had a large one with about 40 of our nerds. And we just finished one the week previous out west in Canada with about 20. And the reminder of the power when it comes to a group dynamic in close contact with each other, sitting beside each other, sharing.
Not to mention the synergies that they could create as a group.
Exactly. And as powerful as Zoom and other video conference packages are, and they saved us, obviously, through COVID, there is something that just cannot be replaced when it comes to that kind of dynamic. And our applications are up. Again, because of COVID, our applications worldwide are up when it comes to new nerds. They're looking for probably more freedom and choice in their lives. But bottom line, they're also looking for that connectivity with other players in the same field, in the same realm. And of course, with our platform, I'm a Nerd, they're connected with every nerd globally. So, it's easy for them to kibitz halfway around the world about a project or a circumstance or what's coming that they should be aware of. But the whole idea is that the depth and breadth of culture is dramatically enhanced when we have a chance to have weekly breakfast, which is part of the business model. Getting together and kibitzing about what's going on in each one of our lives. But when you get a large group of players together, there's nothing that can replace it. And so I understand why so many are pushing now to get people back into an office space, even for just a handful of days a week.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the hot words in your industry is AI. And you think that's going to be a hindrance or a paradigm shift for your business? I know it's going to be a paradigm shift going down the road, but your thoughts on that? Is that going to be a helpful thing or a hurtful thing on your workflow?
I'm excited about AI for a number of reasons, and I'm deeply concerned about AI for a number of reasons.
Yeah, right.
But to be perfectly honest, we have an issue with talent globally, and it's not going away. We have a handful of countries that are growing, and the vast majority of developed nations are not. We still have a growing manufacturing base, a growing service base. We still have a need for work to be done, for talent to be exercised. And so there have been for almost 40 years ago now, working with Chrysler, the robots on the floor taking over jobs that are just repetitive and don't require creativity, don't require a present mind. They just require a simple learning machine. That is a perfect place for an AI implementation because there are many such opportunities for us to make better use of AI. There are, however, concerns that we one day won't know how to find the off-on switch.
Exactly.
Or pull the plug.
Yeah.
And that we're putting it in the hands of very fragile human beings to make these design decisions. And we all know that we do learn best by screwing up. The issue is, can we afford to screw up that royally with AI? And that day, I believe, will come where we start to face our decisions on this particular front.
I'm going to give you the last word here. What is it that you want my listeners, your stockholders, to take away from today's interview?
That tomorrow is going to be a brighter day. For nerds, it's going to be a very exciting 23. We have a lot on the table that's coming together, a long development process, a long discernment process, and there are many pieces coming together for new elements to be added to the Nerds family. But it is coming together, and I can't wait. The next quarter after this and the quarter after that are going to be exciting, fast-moving times.
As for my listeners, you want to know more about the company and this cybersecurity space, go to their website. It's nerdsonsite.com. My guest today has been Charlie Regan. He is the CEO of Nerds on Site, Inc. They trade on the CSE under the ticker symbol NERD. They also trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol NOSUF. Sir, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully you'll come back in 30 or 40 days and give us an update.
Appreciate it, bud.
All right. Cheers.
Have a good bye now.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by La Jolla Media, LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are for educational and research purposes. Stock Day encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional.